Hi everybody, I am Caroline Leon and today we're going to go to Everest Base Camp and this is our kit list. Okay guys, so this is all of our kit for Everest Base Camp. Now, if you've never been to Everest Base Camp, it is obviously Everest Base Camp. It's an iconic mountain. It is the highest mountain in the world. And hundreds and thousands of people venture to Everest Base Camp just to get a glimpse at that beautiful, iconic mountain. So Everest Base Camp is no joke. It's still over 5,000 meters in height. And all of this kit that you see before me, this is all of the kit that you're gonna need to get to Everest Base Camp. Now, it looks excessive, but what I want you to remember that half of this stuff is just in case the weather gets really chilly, just in case anything else changes. Because in order for you to enjoy the trip, you really want to be comfortable. So most of this stuff here is just for comfort. It's to keep you protected from the weather, to keep you comfortable, and to keep you really warm. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're gonna start going through all of the items that you're gonna need for Everest Base Camp. So like usual, I'm gonna start from the very, very bottom of your feet. So your feet, you're gonna need several items for your feet, and I've got some of those items here. So first thing, okay, I know this looks silly, but here I've got some camp booties. So you guys can use soft down booties, or you can use Crocs. You just need something in the evening to be able to walk around at camp so that you can get out of your big heavy boots. So item number one is going to be some booties for camp. Yeah? So item number two, I've got my hiking shoes. So these, you can see they're really, really worn, but I've used them in so many mountains. So these are my hiking shoes. And as you can see, these are really malleable. I've still got ankle support here. They're breathable, but they don't really protect against the weather. So on Everest Base Camp, the very, very beginning portion of the hike, you're going to be hiking and it's going to be very lush and very, very beautiful. So these are some hiking shoes that might be worthwhile using at that very, very beginning portion of Everest Base Camp. Now, as you start to increase in altitude, you're going to feel that it starts to get a lot colder, and then you're going to be going through snow. So these shoes will not suffice. So most of the time you have several options. You can either take 2 pairs of shoes, or you can just take one very heavy duty durable shoe. Now, what I would recommend is to have a waterproof shoe. So this is a treated leather, and you can see here, very hard, it's waterproof, you can see that it doesn't move at all, and it protects your ankles. So those are the essential elements for a good boot. Some of the best brands for waterproof boots are La Sportiva, so the Italian manufacturer of winter waterproof shoes, and they're amazing. So if you're thinking about trekking some more, I would recommend that you get those boots because they're great. So these are a good alternative, not too expensive. These are some waterproof treated leather hiking shoes. And like I said to you, if you don't want to get 2 pairs of shoes, just get the one that you can use for the entire trek. Now, if you're like me and you like something that's a little bit more durable, you get 2 shoes. One is going to be for the colder temperatures as you start to move into snow, and the other one's when you're in different terrain that's a little bit more lush and a little bit warmer. Okay? So these are your shoes that you need, okay? All our shoes are going in this duffel bag. So now that we know what we need, we're packing them into this duffel bag. Yep, in we go. So now we're gonna move into socks. So what you're gonna need is at least 3 sock liners. So a sock liner is it's basically a thin sock. But the difference between normal socks and sock liners is just the material. So the material with these is a little bit more just durable. So it's a hiking sock liner, so it really absorbs all the sweat and it's just a little bit more durable. Sometimes you can get socks that are also insulated, so this is a little bit of a wool sock, but it's also a sock liner. So you need 2 to 3 pairs of sock liners for Everest Base Camp. In addition to that, you're going to need a medium sock, yeah, and a thick sock, yeah. So this is the medium sock, and sorry, this is kind of old, medium sock, and then you can see this is the thick sock. So I have 2 different lengths. So my thick sock goes all the way to my knee, just in case, and then the medium sock is just a little bit above the ankle, and this is just to keep the lower part of my shin nice and warm. So 5 socks in total, 2 to 3 pairs of sock liners, 1 medium sock, and 1 thick, nice, warm sock for those evenings. Now, I always like to recommend that people have a separate bag like this, and in that separate bag, you keep all of your sleeping clothes. So me personally, I also like to have a clean pair of socks to go into every evening. So you can use one of those sock liners as your sock that goes into your sleeping bag. And that will be every night, you get to take off those dirty socks, get to clean your feet with wet wipes and put on this really nice, clean, warm sock liner on, okay? So that's your socks. So pants for EBC. The first day when you arrive, so you're obviously going to need some casual clothes, and then most likely you're going to need 4 different pairs of pants for Everest Base Camp. So this is your base layer. So this one is synthetic. Yeah, so this is my base layer. You guys can also have a merino wool base layer, anything that's nice and comfy. So you need 1 base layer, and you want that base layer to be relatively warm, yeah? Then you're gonna need a trekking pant. Again, I would recommend to have 1 or 2 trekking pants for Everest Base Camp. You're going to be on the whole expedition most likely for about 10 days. So you need a normal trekking pant. You have the option to change them into shorts, and that's completely up to you. If you like to be in shorts, then what I would do is just get some pants that have the option of turning into shorts. So you need 2 trekking pants, and again, one of them, so I would find something that's a little bit versatile. One of them is a tiny bit thinner, and the other pair are a little bit thicker for Everest Base Camp. But it's up to you. If you want to just take 1 trekking pant, no problem. Okay, the other thing that's essential is you need a trekking pant that's a little bit warmer. So you can see this is called my soft shell pant. And the reason that it's called the soft shell pant, the material is a little bit thicker than my normal trekking pant, so it's a little bit more durable. So I'm going to take 1 soft shell pant with me to Everest Base Camp. Now, the other thing that I need is a hard shell pant. Now, I always get asked this question, what is the difference between a hard shell and a soft shell? So a hard shell pant is just the material. This is wind and waterproof, water resistant. So you have, you can see it actually has this plastic consistency. And what's amazing about these pants, so this is what you want to get, is a pant that completely unzips on the seam. And the reason that you want a pant that completely unzips on the seam is that if the weather changes at any time during the expedition, you get to put on your hard shell pants without having to take off your boots or any of the other layers. You can just pull them up. So if it starts raining, or all of a sudden the terrain changes and you find yourself in snow. And the reason why hard shell pants are great is because you can literally sit down on the snow and none of that moisture is going to seep into those pants, so it's going to keep you really nice and dry. And when you're dry, you're warm. Trust me, as soon as you get wet, you get really cold. So hard shell pants are wind and water resistant, and they need to have that seam on the end. Pants in the duffel bag. So base layer in, trekking pants in, soft shell pants in, hard shell pants in. We are now moving up your body. So without leaving out underwear, what I would suggest is that you get some Wiccan underwear as well, sports bras for the ladies, something that's really comfortable. And what I would suggest is that you don't need, and I know this is going to sound gross, you don't need a pair for every single day. Like I said to you, in that sleeping bag, remember I spoke to you guys before about taking a clean pair of socks. So in my sleeping bag, which is just like a nice loose bag, I'm going to put one pair of clean socks that I'm going to wear every single night to bed. In addition to that, I'm going to put one clean pair of underwear, maybe two if you're excited, and you're going to put two or one pair of underwear into that sleeping bag, and that's going to be the clean stuff that you wear every single night. Moving up the body again, so we've gone through shoes, socks, pants, we've talked about underwear a little bit, and now we're going to move into this upper layer for your chest and your abdomen. So starting from the very, very bottom, you need to take a base layer. Again, merino wool, anything that's not cotton, preferably long sleeves, and again, preferably, and it's up to you, you can have a hood if you like. So this is your base layer, and this you're going to wear in the evenings, or you're going to wear as soon as it starts to get quite cold on the hike. You need to have this base layer. Next, you want to have 2 layers of sun protection that you take with you. So here I've got a light colored sun shirt, and this is really thin fabric. It's also long sleeve, and preferably you want a sun shirt with a hood. So this is the first one that I take with me onto EBC, and the reason that I like this is that it's really light. So you want it to be light in color and then also light in fabric, so that you're covering your body so you're not getting burnt, but then at the same time you're also just having that extra layer of protection, so you're protected from the elements essentially. So I've got one light sun shirt, and then my second light sun shirt is again very light in color, long sleeve, and it has a hood, and preferably no fabrics that are cotton. You want everything to be quick dry, kind of like exercise material, so to speak. So this is my second sun shirt, and it's got a hood and it's long sleeve. So these are the layers that I'm taking with me to Everest Base Camp: base layer, 2 sun shirts, and then I'm going to put them into my duffel bag. So this is completely optional. I would take 2 t-shirts, and this is again for the very, very beginning of the trek. And those 2 t-shirts, they can be short sleeve, and that's completely up to you. One thing that I want you to be really mindful of is that this duffel bag has to be less than 15 kilos. So you really only want to take the essential items. So if your sun shirt, the long sleeve hooded sun shirt, and your t-shirts are kind of doing the same thing, then what I would do is eliminate the one that you feel is not necessary. So what I would probably eliminate is the t-shirt. And again, it just depends if you get really hot or if you get really cold, if you prefer long sleeves or not. So that's up to you. My preference would be to always take the long sleeve version with the hood that's in a light color. Okay, 2 t-shirts, not cotton, 1 light color and a different color as well, preferably a darker color, so that you kind of have that whole spectrum there. And then both of these go into your duffel bag. Now moving on, I'm now moving into what we call a fleece layer, and this is our mid layer. So fleeces, I like to take 2, but this is completely optional. You can take 1, and I have a North Face Summit Series fleece. It is really, really light, and it's also really, really warm. So I take this North Face fleece. You can see it's also got a hood as well. So this is going to protect me from the elements, keep my head really nice and warm, and long sleeve as well. So this is the first fleece that I take. And then I'm going to put this into my duffel bag. So again, optional. I like to take another fleece, and this fleece, okay, is also long sleeve, also has a hood, and with this fleece, normally I use this fleece for the evenings for when I get to camp. I'm somebody who has a tendency to get really cold, so I like to be nice and warm. So in the evening, when we're not walking and we're at camp, I like to wear another fleece, and again, that's really nice and clean. So I put this fleece in the bag that I explained to you before that has all my sleeping stuff. So I'm gonna pack this fleece into my sleeping stuff with the sock and the underwear, and my tracksuit pants that I've got for sleeping. Moving into the next layer for our upper body, and this is our down jacket. So I have an 800 fill down jacket, so this is really nice and warm, and you can see it's actually really big. So this is my best friend. So I use this in the evenings at camp, and then as it starts to get colder, so as you start to climb an altitude, you're gonna need something that's really warm when you stop walking. What tends to happen, and when you're new to hiking, all of this stuff looks completely like excessive. But what I want you to remember is that when you start walking, a lot of the time people get really hot, and so you take stuff off. Or you unzip your jacket, you take off the hood, you roll up those sleeves so that you can ventilate and get nice and cool. And when you stop walking, there's a tendency to get really cold. And this is why you need that kind of stacking, layering system so that you're always moderating your body temperature, not getting too hot so you're overheating, and not getting too cold. So the down jacket is really for when you're at camp, it's when you start to get to those higher altitudes, and it's also there when you stop and have breaks and you need something to keep you really nice and warm. And now we're putting the down jacket in to our duffel bag. You can see this is getting really full. So moving on, our final layer for the top part of your body is your hard shell jacket. Okay, this is my hard shell jacket. So just like I said to you guys before with the hard shell pants, the hard shell jacket does exactly the same. Okay, like I said to you before, the hard shell jacket does exactly the same as the hard shell pants. It stops the wind and water, so it's windproof and water resistance. So if the weather changes and it starts to get really, really windy, or if it starts to rain, or if it starts to snow, this is going to be your best friend. This is the item that's going to stop the wind from piercing through you, and it's going to keep you nice and dry. Preferably, the top part, you want a bright color. Remember that on the mountains, the colors that are all neutral are going to be black and white and potentially those gray colors, but on a mountain you want to be visible. You want people to be able to see you if anything happens, so you want really bright colors. So the colors that are great for this are bright blues, or bright yellows, or bright reds, or oranges, or pinks, anything that stands out from the natural terrain. So this is your hard shell jacket. Now, your hard shell jacket needs to have a hood, yeah? There's also these little pulleys at the back, so you can tighten the hood around you so it stops the wind from piercing through. It normally comes right up onto your nose, so it acts almost in a sense like a buff. If you look at these items here, just the zippers here, you can put your phone and other items in, but these zippers are actually reflective. So in the evening, they're gonna reflect the light. Okay, so this is your hard shell jacket. And we're gonna put your hard shell jacket into your duffel bag. So one thing that I'm gonna say about all of those layerings for the top part of your body and for the bottom, the layer that's closest to your body needs to fit you nicely. And as you start to go up, so your down jacket and your outer shell need to be one size bigger. Now the reason being is that when you wear all of the layers together, everything needs to fit. You don't want a down jacket that's way too tight and you can't wear when you have the fleece or the base layer. You don't want an outer shell that doesn't fit with the down jacket, with the fleece, and with the base layer. So everything needs to work together. So when you're shopping for all of these items, what I would suggest is that take all of your layers with you and just make sure that everything fits nicely. You need to be able to move easily with all 4 layers on, and they need to fit on top of each other. That would be my one recommendation. All right, we're almost there, guys. Last things. So we're up to hands and head, neck, and shoulders, and then we've got sleeping stuff and all the little extras. So literally almost there. So you need 3 gloves, and this is an essential. You can take 2 pairs of gloves, but I'm just going to show you and explain to you all the different options. A glove liner. These can be made out of fleece, or they can be made out of some form of like silky Wiccan fabric. So you need 1 glove liner. And the reason that you need a glove liner is that the glove liner can sit inside any of these other gloves. So I put the glove liner on, and what the glove liner allows me to do is that I can still do things with my hands, and my hands stay warm, particularly when I'm in snow. So what I can do is now I've got a much thicker glove, and I put my glove, so it's the wrong hand, sorry. I put my glove liner inside the other glove. So what happens is if I stop and we have a break and I need to get something out of my pack, I can take my glove off. I can still feel things within my bag with my glove liner, but my hands are not getting cold. Trust me, this is going to be a lifesaver. So you want a glove liner 100%. In addition to that, you want a glove that's a little bit thicker. And this glove, you can see, has treated leather on the inside. And then here, if you go inside the glove, I've got fleece. So this is wind, waterproof, and really nice and warm. So you need one of these. A nice medium to thick pair glove that's gonna keep you really nice and warm. And you wear your glove liner inside only for the higher altitude and cooler temperatures. I also have a mitten. Now, you guys don't need to take a mitten, but if you have one around, then definitely take it. So the difference with the mitten is that your fingers are not separated. And when your fingers are not separated, they tend to be a little bit warmer together. On the inside, I also have treated leather. So this is also wind and waterproof. And you can feel it's so much thicker because this is completely insulated. So I have the option glove liner. Then I wear my mitten. If I need to stop and take anything out of my bag, I take the mitten, because honestly you can't do anything with a mitten on. You take the mitten off and you still have your glove liner on so that you can rummage through your bag or do anything, or get your phone out and take a photo without your hands getting really cold. Okay, so I've got glove liners, then I've got gloves, and then I have my really thick, durable mittens, and all 3 are going into my duffel bag. Next, head, neck. First things first is a buff. My buff is black, but actually what I would recommend is a lighter color buff because it doesn't attract any sun. And I'm gonna look really ridiculous here, but I'm gonna show you what this is for, because normally people see this on the kit list and they think, what the hell do I need this for? But it's actually really useful. So you slide over your head, yeah? And you can wear this as another layer for your head if it gets really cold. Now, you can wear your beanie on top of that. So you have 2 layers here. Now, I know I look ridiculous. Then what your buff actually does is I put it over my nose, and I put it over my nose and my mouth. And what this does is it stops the wind and it stops the cold from getting to my face. And in addition, this is sun protection. So what happens on most mountains, as you start to get higher in altitude, the sun becomes so much stronger. So what you'll notice is that the wind, in addition to the sun, will actually burn your face and wind burn your face. And so what's happened to me on many mountains is that I end up slightly swollen, and I have like my face is completely red from being wind burnt, including my lips. So the buff stops that from happening, and then obviously you wear your glasses and you wear your goggles if the weather's really bad. So this is the purpose of having both. Now, if I don't want to wear it that way, then I just wear it as a scarf. And the reason this is amazing instead of an actual scarf is because this is going to keep your neck warm without getting stuck on anything. Yeah, so this is a buff. So a light color is a little bit better, again, because it doesn't attract to the sun, and you can use it to protect your entire head, but mostly it's for this part of your face. In addition to a buff, make sure you take sunscreen and factor 50 and above, and I would try and use some non-toxic sunscreens. Zinc is amazing for that, and then even some non-toxic sunscreen for your lips as well. On a mountain, your lips will get chafed, your lips will, they can get wind burnt as well, so just make sure that in the essentials, you're taking sunscreen and you're taking a lip balm. So this is the buff. I've got a beanie as well as a part of my headgear, and I've got a sun hat that I'm going to use at the lower altitudes, and I've got one more item that I'm going to use on my head, and that's my headlamp. So at night, at camp, you're going to need the headlamp because it can get quite dark, and then if you're ever trekking in the evenings, you're also going to need that headlamp as well. So just to recap the items that you need from your neck and above, it's going to be a buff, preferably a lighter color. A beanie, and fleece or merino wool is amazing. You need a sun hat, and you need a headlamp. Okay, now that you've got all those items, you're going to put them in your duffel bag. And you can see now that my duffel bag's actually getting really full. So before we finish packing, you need to make sure that this is under 15 kilos. Okay, we are almost at the end. We're up to sleeping items. So first, remember the bag with sleeping clothes that are clean. Every single night you're going to put these nice, yummy, clean clothes on. So you've got your sleeping pouch. That's the first thing. In that sleeping pouch, anything that you sleep in, remember you need to be nice and warm. Okay. It depends on what hiking company you do Everest Base Camp with. Generally, the items that I'm about to explain to you are going to be provided for you. But in case you want to get these items for yourself, whether it's hygiene reasons or any other reason, then I'm just going to explain to you the breakdown of all of this. So the first item that you need is a sleeping pad, and this is a foam sleeping pad. This is also a thermarest, which means that it's actually slightly insulated, so it's not going to allow the cold to come in. In parts of Everest Base Camp, you're going to be camping on snow, so this is amazing because it stops that cold from getting in. Second to that, again, this is insulated, and this is a foam inflatable mattress, and this particular brand is Seed to Summit, and it's the ultralight insulated sleeping pad. This is the second sleeping item that you need. In addition to that, you need a pillow. Now, what I like to do with my pillow is I get my sleeping bag cover, because obviously my sleeping bag's not going to be in the cover, and then I put some clothes into the sleeping bag cover, and then I use that as a pillow. So I put my down jacket and some other softer elements like the t-shirts and the sun shirts into this, and it creates a really nice soft pillow, and that eliminates the need to bring a pillow. So some people like to bring inflatable pillows, so it's completely up to you, but what I do is use the sleeping bag cover as a pillow, and that's just to eliminate some of the additional weight that's going to be in my duffel bag. Now moving on to a sleeping bag, and this is one of the items that you actually need to bring with you. And for hygiene reasons as well, it's kind of nice to have your own sleeping bag. If you are renting a sleeping bag from any of the providers, then you're going to need a sleeping bag liner. And the sleeping bag liner is just for hygienic reasons, okay? Your sleeping bag needs to be minus 15 degrees for Everest Base Camp, okay? In addition to that, the last item on my list is my tent. And I love this tent, so I like to have my own tent. And this is a North Face Mountain 25 tent. It's 4 seasons. It's actually inside, it's like a little home. I always prefer to take my own tent because I know that I've got little pockets. I know that it's really light in color, so it doesn't feel really dark and closed in. So this is my tent. But if this is your first trekking experience, then most of the time the providers will give you a really nice comfy tent. So these are the items that you need. Obviously sleeping clothes, just to recap, a foam mattress, a sleeping pad, minus 15 sleeping bag. This is the only item that you will need to provide for yourself. Mostly everything else will be provided for you. But in case you want to buy your own equipment, then you also need a tent. And this is all our sleeping stuff. Now I'm going to throw in one luxury item, and my luxury item is my Snoopy hot water bottle. And this is obviously when it gets really cold, it actually helps me sleep. So in the evenings, I get the guides just to fill this up with nice warm water, or I have my own stove. So I just heat up some water, put it into the hot water bottle, and then I go to bed and I'm nice and warm, and it just helps me fall asleep straight away. So this is my one luxury item for EBC, okay? Everything now, you can see it's already full, so this is going to be a heavy duty to get this in. All these items go into my duffel bag. We are almost at the end. So these are our last few items. So this is a bum bag. Okay, so I like to take a bum bag. I normally put my lip balm that has SPF on it, sunscreen, and a snack into this bum bag, and sometimes I also put my phone into this bum bag. And the reason that I do this, really easy to access. So first item going into the duffel bag is a bum bag. Second item is water containers. So I take a bladder and a water bottle just in case. And the water bottle, obviously you can see this is PBA free plastic, and it has a screw top, wide mouth. This is my preference. So you need one of these, so a water bottle, and then you need an insulated bladder, okay? My bladder is somewhere, but insulated bladder. So this is what the insulation tube looks like, and this stops the water from freezing when it gets too cold. So I put the bladder into my pack, 2 to 3 liters of water in addition to my water bottle. So I've got my bladder and my water bottle. And now the last 2 items before we move into all of the tiny additional stuff is trekking poles and then your day pack. This is my favorite bag. This is the North Face Summit Series pack. And the reason that I love this bag is because it has a brain as well. And the brain is so easy because you can put goggles, yeah, you can put your sunglasses, you can put your buff, you can put snacks here, yeah. Then I have another pocket, yeah, on the inside. So if I unclip this, and I can also take this brain off, on the inside, I have another pocket where I can put other items in here as well. And this is really accessible. So if I want to take this brain off, look at how cool this is. I can completely take this off and either not take it with me, or I can put the brain inside my bag, and it just gives me this extra compartment where everything is easily accessible and easy to find. Otherwise, you're literally rummaging through. It's got side pockets so you can put the water bottle on the side. It has a place for crampons, but you're not going to need that in this moment. It has a spot for an ice axe as well, so it's a really, really durable, really versatile day pack. So this is my day pack. And then you can see on the side it's got little places where you can put little snacks or your phone or your camera or anything else like that. So you're going to need a day pack. On Everest Base Camp, your day pack is going to have about 3 to 5 or 6 kilos in that. So you need to be able to carry 3 to 5 kilos with you every single day on Everest Base Camp. And what goes inside this is a medical first aid kit. So this is just a personal first aid kit for you. And that means anything that you need to make you feel nice and comfy, whether you need pain medication, whether you're taking Diamox, whether you're taking blister cream or sun cream or lip balm or Voltaren for your knees if they hurt, any other items that you need to make you feel really nice and comfortable are going to go into your personal first aid kit, and this is going to go with you all the time in your pack. In addition to that, you're going to have that bottle of water and your bladder in here. And then you need that additional layer to protect you against the wind. So either your down jacket and the hard shell pants and hard shell jacket, depending where you are on your trek. All of that needs to fit into your day pack, and you need to be able to take that with you every single day whilst you're going up to Everest Base Camp. Okay, so that's my day pack. The last item is going to be our trekking poles. Now I have black diamond retractable trekking poles. So you can see I can actually fit them in to the side pockets and clip them in here into my day pack, so when I'm not using them. Then when I need to use them, I unfasten them, and then you can see that I just clip them in, and then I lock the clipping mechanism, and then I have a full trekking pole that's retractable. On Everest Base Camp, you may need snow buckets as well, so you have the option to also purchase that with this. See how light? They're so light. And then I stick them into my day pack, and I also take them with me every day, just in case. So this is Everest Base Camp. So I'm Caroline Leon. This is our Everest Base Camp kit list. Everything that you need for Everest Base Camp is in this bag, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Have an amazing time.